Hey everyone, I wanted to do a video on my new photo printer. I've had it for about a week, a little less than a week now, and excuse the noise, I am sending a photo through it right now, and I'll try to talk over it. Sometimes it takes a little bit to warm up when you haven't used it for a day or so. I'm printing from Photoshop right now. So what this is the Epson Stylus Photo R3000 series printer. It's a 13-inch wide photo inkjet printer. It is new for 2011. Got it in March 2011. It's basically uses the Epson Ultra Chrome K3 printing system. It's 9 different types of ink that's used in here, several different blacks. It has a matte black and it has a kind of a photo black as well. It will automatically switch between them, or at least in the software you can change it yourself. It again is 13 inches wide, and it's the widest width you can print. You can print up to 44 inches long, so 13 inches wide, 44 inches long, which would be basically some kind of I don't know, poster board, or not poster board, just it would be multiple images, a panorama is what I was trying to think of. Sheet paper typically, or the size you're going to use is a 13 by 19. Resolution is 5760 by 1440 dpi's. When I was looking for this printer, I had several criteria components that I wanted. One was that I wanted a printer that was wireless, so I could put it anywhere I needed to, and I also wanted the wired Ethernet connection, and of course the standard USB format. And I did want the Ultra Chrome printing ink style, and I wanted the ability to use all different types of paper, fine art paper, canvas, CDs, standard matte, glossy photo paper styles. So this one met my needs, and it's been really fun to use and be able to kind of get that instant gratification by printing your own pictures. I'm certainly by no means an expert in color profiles and using this printer yet, but I've found it very simple to use so far. I've played around with the drivers and did a lot of test prints with using 4x6 photos. I'm using the Epson Glossy Ultra Premium Photo Paper Glossy 4x6 photos just for test runs. Make sure you don't use too much ink, and do a test to make sure you get the colors right, and then you can commit to it on a larger set of paper. This printer also has the ability to load in the back here, like I was showing you. It has this sliding mechanism here to hold the paper in place. You can also load in fine art paper and whatnot up front. It has the door that closes. It has the spot here for the ink. I don't want to open it, but you can put the ink through there. It has the ability to have rollers on the back here. If you wanted to roll paper to do those 44-inch long banners, if you will, you could do it that way. I don't have it installed, but the roll paper would go through there. And it seems to support most all the Epson paper, and I set this up through, I have this going through Wi-Fi, and the instructions, the quick start guide or start here guide, told you to basically use the USB cable to set it up if you can for the first time, but didn't have one right away to use. Doesn't come with one, and I just set it up to Wi-Fi and had no problems at all. I found my network, put in the password, good to go. It takes about 10 minutes to prime the ink, all those things, but other than that it was really fast. The ink seems to be a little cheaper than, and certainly holds a little more than other printers that Epson had. The ink cartridges appear to be about $27 to $30 each. It's not running through it really fast, but maybe certainly fast enough, I'll say that. I hear this printer is better than some of the other professional printer ones that they have as far as the ink usage. And I know the other 17-inch one I was looking at, if you were to replace the ink cartridges on that, all of them would be about $500, and I can't do that very often, if ever, for ink. I feel like it would be a complete rip-off using $500 for ink, because I'm not supporting a business on this or anything. So different viewpoint if you were, I guess. So far, very happy with the printer. I think this might be one of the first videos out there on it. Let me know if you have any questions. Consider this video not necessarily a review, but an initial commentary viewpoint on the product. And so far, I am very happy with it. The driver has not failed at all on my computer end. I'm using it on Windows. You can set it up on Mac as well. Wireless has been perfect. I've never had any troubleshooting needs. It's never, it's always found the network. It's never had any paper jams yet. I have used larger paper than the 4x6, but so far very good. Very easy to load the ink cartridges. And I would say the only thing I've noticed so far is that if you don't use it for a couple days, the first print you do does take a while to get going again. I don't know if it primes the ink or something, but it took about 5 minutes before it printed anything, which is not bad, but something to be aware of. I also did notice that I printed several photos one day, and when it was done, there was a little bit of a high-pitched noise coming from the printer. It did go away, but it was certainly odd, and I was a little bit concerned about that. But other than that, no areas of concern so far. And of course, to show you an example of the actual printer itself, pretty nice here. This is a photo, 4x6 photo at night that I processed in Photoshop, and this is basically a photo of in China, Shanghai, China. So I think it turned out pretty good. So just to give you a final view of the results of the print that I just printed, again, this is the in Shanghai, China. I did a couple years ago on a trip there. The picture was at night. It was shot with a 5D, and the ISO level was relatively high, so it does have some noise in it, but this is printed at 4x6, and I did some Photoshop processing to it just to kind of straighten up the distortion on the tower there, and some other things. Basically, I played with the saturation a little bit, and I think it looks really good on the print. So a little too close to focus here, but very impressive print to me. I'll show you a couple more that I've done, and again, maybe not necessarily the best photos in the first place, but let me focus this in. I'm a knife collector, and this is a picture of one of my knives that I have, and I think this one turned out really nicely, the print. And one more here, the original photo, not the best. Good, but not necessarily the best, but the print looks nice. So again, let me know if you have any questions.